Hey guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor Channel. So good to be with you. My name is Ryan. I'm coming to you from the Big Apple, New York City, New York. I was just hit up here recently asking me about where some of my influences for investing comes from. And honestly, guys, I don't remember a time in my life where investing wasn't part of my life. But certainly how I've evolved throughout my life, I've certainly had some influences that have really helped kind of guide me and kind of validate, some of my intuitions and where some of my interests took me, certainly. And this is a very important video to come out with. I think all the YouTube creators come out with it. That way you're not just taking verbatim what people say and looking to just employ ideas. Everybody thinks their ideas are the best. I'm one of them. I really think my ideas really are meant to be employable and deployable in your own financial lives, guys. But this can really kind of help understand, the evolution of my career and where I've got a lot of my ideas and principles from, right and wrong. We all have our influences in life, and I thought it prudent to come out with a quick 10-minute video for you guys and go ahead and give my top 5 favorite books that are out there. Now, one of these is a documentary video, but I'd really like you guys to check it out. And so, this is really important. This is just kind of one of the responses that I got, or in response to one of the comments asking for this material. This information I will provide for you guys down in the links in the information section of this particular video. I will probably link them up on Amazon, certainly as part of my affiliate programs. Hope you guys don't mind doing that, but I don't mind plugging this stuff, but get you guys into Amazon. And if you guys want to go ahead and purchase these or order these, you can do that. The links will be provided for you in the bottom of the video, guys, right? So I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. Becoming Warren Buffett was something I actually get emotional when I watch that film. The guy is really amazing, and a lot of people, when you think Warren Buffett, you think investing, and that's all you think about. Becoming Warren Buffett, man, it walks you through his whole life. It walks you through the creation of Berkshire Hathaway and how he was really 2 shakes away from never ever creating it. He ended up, having somebody try to kind of cheat him on the share price of what at the time was not Berkshire Hathaway. It was a different company, but when he took over the company, he was actually, he was kind of jaded a little bit on the deal. But I think more so that I get out of Becoming Warren Buffett, the video, is more of just a lot of life lessons about how he approaches life, how it talks about some of his relationships, some of his closest business relationships, his relationship with his spouse. It's really, really quite touching. It's not a video. I do watch it multiple times and have watched it multiple times, but it's not one of those things that I watch every day. But when I need a little pick-me-up, certainly, I turn to Becoming Warren Buffett by Dr. Tony N. Hay, and just a phenomenal piece. If you have not seen the film, I think it runs about an hour and 15 minutes or so. It's really not that long, but it's more of a documentary piece that really kind of walks you through, how his mind was geared, just even as a small boy. It talked about his upbringing, things like that, and I really think you guys would enjoy that. So if you have a few minutes, look up Becoming Warren Buffett, certainly on Amazon. It'll really point you in the right direction, help you streamline a lot of investing principles that he enjoyed. The next one, Intelligent Investor. It's really a must-have. It's a cornerstone of anybody's library with regard to investing, by Ben Graham. This will really walk you through a lot of the fundamentals of investing, a lot of the nomenclature, a lot of the philosophies about investing. And it's really just a must-have. I kind of put it down on my list a little bit because it was kind of an easy read. A lot of the information I already understood. He formats it in his own way, which is easier to explain. So it's a really, really good read for somebody that's looking to go and accelerate their knowledge. Certainly they can sit down and read The Intelligent Investor and be better off for doing so. Real Money from Jim Cramer. Jim's really probably the #1 influence for me on the stock market specifically. I can remember the time before Mad Money ever was released, and I'd remember going online and trying to find little tidbits of his stock insights and anything that he would ever say in a news article. I was pretty hungry and trying to find out what he had to say, and then he came out with Mad Money, and that's really been one of my favorite shows. Really, I don't watch it every night. night, certainly, but I really try to catch it on occasion. I enjoy the material. He's really, really good at speaking to individuals, and really, you know, he's in line with what my goal is, and that's to empower just individual people, right? And he openly talks about that. But Real Money really breaks down a lot of Jim's fundamental philosophies, and he's able to really speak to people on a level that we can all understand, right? I mean, I'm not an analyst. Jim's one of the most respected analysts in the business, and he's really, really good, and he's got a very, very good network of team of people who are even better than him at, let's say, on the technical side of it, right? So Real Money is definitely on my list. The next one is Unshakable, and Tony Robbins, when he speaks about investing, I cannot help but be moved. The one thing about Tony Robbins that I actually like more than his investing talks is his discussions about life. I mean, they are absolutely sensational. If you can catch some pieces of his motivational conferences on YouTube, if you just, you know, YouTube Tony Robbins, and if you're feeling down with your day, watch some Tony Robbins, man. He will pick you right back up like this and give you no excuse at all to not move on with your life. This guy really is phenomenal. As far as a motivational speaker, I think he's one of the best. I cannot believe his conferences and how he picks people out that are not staged. He'll have them stand up and he'll identify a plan right then and there on the fly for them. And it's nothing less than moving. I'm moved every time I watched it. As a matter of fact, I watched his special that he just had. He tours all over the place, and I forget the name of the last tour that he did, but it is phenomenal. Very easy to find on YouTube, but it is absolutely moving, and I could only watch it one time. It was that emotional of a ride, but this man, he'll take you there, no doubt about it, and he really strikes at the essence of life. And on this channel, we talk all the time about investing and the nuts and bolts and the ABCs about investing, blah, blah, blah. I also openly talk about how boring of a topic it can be, and it can really be tough to break through to individuals, right, who are really reserved and just do not want to talk about finances with anybody. I think sometimes we need to take a step back and understand that in life there's just a bigger picture to things. There really are. And the financial piece, as much as I advocate that it is a controllable piece of your life, it's not. It shouldn't be your entire life in its entirety. It should just be a controlled piece. All right. The last one, really, I have it number one on my list, and it's a surprising book. It's one of those books that'll really keep you into it until the end. It's a very, very simple read, but it is absolutely applicable to today's times with regard to what's going on with our money, with our economy, with the prospect of owning gold and silver. The thing I like about this book so much is that it keeps you intrigued in that they shake a carrot in front of you the entire book and tell you that they have this huge secret about investing that they're gonna give you at the end of the book, right? And you're tempted to go back to the book. I didn't do it. I actually was in the book. I read it in a couple days. It was a very, very simple read. But when I got to the end of the book, The Secret in America 2020, honestly, I've never read a piece of literature that I felt so connected to when I got to this very secret. And it really drives a lot of how I approach fundamental investing, because that, in fact, is the essence of what is declared in the end of America 2020 by Ron Paul. I think it's a phenomenal book. I think it's a must-read, really, for all Americans out there, really, because it'll talk about a lot of creative alternative ways to safeguard money. It'll take you through the gold depression, and when we moved off the gold standard, I think in the early 70s, 72, I believe is when we moved off the standard. It brings us through that. It talks about some stocks in there that I actually recommend, and then again at the end of the book, that right there is why it's number one on my list, because the piece of literature at the end of that book, it has and always will be with me the rest of my life. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to my top 5 books. Again, I'll be leaving these links in the bottom of this video to help you guys easily find and identify them. I'll pre-identify them on Amazon for you guys. If you have not subscribed to the Independent Investor channel, I encourage you to do so you're notified of any future videos that I put on YouTube. Guys, share the link with anybody out there that you know that can benefit from this information. Somebody looking to get involved in the stock market for the first time and they just don't know how. This information can be invaluable for those folks, new investors looking to get involved. Leave your comments at the bottom of this video. Certainly, if there are investing books out there that can help my growing community of aspiring investors, leave those names at the bottom and I will enjoy them. I'm a student of investing just like anybody else. Leave those ideas at the bottom and we'd be glad to talk about those in the community of my comment section, guys. Listen, thank you so much for tuning into the Independent Investor channel and good luck in your investment future.